Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we're headed down to get some new animals for our zoo. We are going to be getting some dart frogs, but first we have to head into the pet store, go get a couple of supplies that we don't have that we need for our dart frogs, which we've never had dart frogs. I've always wanted them, so we are going to get them. We'll get them back home and we will show you guys how we are going to set them up. They are just tadpoles at the moment, so you guys will be able to watch along with us as they grow into little froglets and eventually little frogs. So let's go in there and get us some supplies.
Hey.
What are we getting?
Leaves.
Get some catappa leaves. These are gonna help our new tadpoles. It helps with bacterial growth in our tadpoles enclosures. Alright, we're going to need some moss for their enclosures. I think we will get some of this. And maybe some of that. Alright, so we got our moss and our catappa leaf. Both of these things in the tadpoles' water will help keep the water safe for them. It'll help with any bacterial growth in the enclosures to help make sure that the tadpoles grow up safely and into little froglets in the next few weeks, hopefully. So now we're gonna head down. We got about a 45-minute drive down to get these tadpoles, and then we will get home and get them set up. We just picked up our tadpoles. So we've got 2 little tadpoles right here, and we also got 2 eggs. So we will get all of these in water as soon as we get home. Hopefully these eggs turn out looking pretty good. At least one of them looks pretty good. And we'll find out when we get home in a couple of weeks if those eggs hatch. Hopefully they do. And these are the blue dart frogs, which are my favorite dart frogs at all. So I'm very excited to grow these guys up into little froglets and into frogs. So let's get home, get these guys set up in their new enclosures. What do you say?
Bye, everybody.
No, you ready to get home and get these guys set up?
Uh-huh.
And get some blue frogs?
Uh-huh.
It'd be fun. You have anything else you want to say to them?
Frogs are slimy.
Yeah, we don't touch them, do we? They're just to look at, right?
Yeah, because they're slimy.
They are. And you know what can happen if we touch them?
What?
We could make them sick. Yeah, so whenever we touch the frogs, we wear gloves. Right? Right. All right. Let's get them home and get them set up. You can help set them up?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. See you guys in...
I hope you like my flip-flops.
We'll see you guys in a little bit. Hi, so we finally got back home. We're gonna get our tadpoles set up into our temporary housing until they turn into froglets. We're just using these little plastic containers while they're still tadpoles. Once they grow all 4 of their legs, they will go into a larger tank, which will be these will go into our 12 by 12 by 18 exoteras. All of our dart frogs will eventually go into those once they become frogs. But for now, we're going to get them set up in each in their own. We have 2 tadpoles, so we're going to set each of them up in their own Tupperware container. And we also have 2 eggs in here. We're not sure if they're both viable, but we're going to set up both of the eggs in one of these containers and see if they hatch in the next couple of weeks. Alright, So we're going to start with some water that has been set out. We are on well water here, so we don't have to worry about the chlorine in the water like you would if you lived on city water. We are also going to be putting in some of this water conditioner into the 2 containers that have the tadpoles, just to make sure that the water is going to be nice and clean for them. And we are also putting in some moss into the enclosure with each of the tadpoles. Along with the moss, we are putting in some Indian almond leaf in each of the tadpole enclosures too. You want to get this, you can get it pretty much at most pet stores. It is used most commonly used to put into beta enclosures, because it actually will tint your water. It will tint your water because of the tannins in the leaves, and it actually helps betas, and in this case tadpoles. It makes the water a little bit darker, so it actually helps them feel safer and less stressed out if they're in water that they can't see all the way around them. Because with reptiles in particular, you don't necessarily want them in the biggest cage that you can get. Isn't always best for your animals. They need to have visual barriers because reptiles can get stressed out very easily, very quickly, which can cause a decline in health, and it could even kill them. So whenever you have especially small animals, in this case very tiny tadpoles, later this year you will see our baby Reagan's dragons. You don't want to keep them in something huge because they will get stressed out and can quickly decline. So you don't want to have your animal to be in too big of an enclosure when they're very small, because it will stress them out, because in the wild they would be needing to hide from predators. So they actually stay in a relatively small confined area, which if you do have them in a slightly larger enclosure then would be suggested for them. You want to have a lot of visual barriers, like even painting the sides of your enclosure, or putting up a background, lots of branches and rocks throughout the enclosure, so that it kind of breaks it up and they can hide and get away from potential predators like they would be out in the wild. So let's get started. So we're going to put 1 leaf in each of their enclosures. It also gives them something to hide under, and they may also nibble at this stuff, because in the wild tadpoles would be nibbling on algae and different other types of floating vegetation. We do have frog and tadpole food. They just eat a very few granules. This stuff is very tiny. They will literally eat a couple of those granules every week, so about once or twice a week. We're just going to put a couple of those granules in there for them. Let's get their waters filled up. We don't want to put too much water in there too quick for them. We're only going to be doing about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of water right now. And then obviously once they start growing their legs is when we're going to actually put them into a larger enclosure. They'll grow their back legs first, and then they'll start growing their front legs. Once they grow their back legs and you can start to see front legs coming out, is when we're going to move them to their enclosure, their exoterra enclosures, which I said before, which is a 12 by 12 by 18 high exoterra front opening enclosure. We're going to move them into that with some rocks, so that they can climb up out of the water. Once they're fully out of the water, we will redo their exoterra enclosure. We're going to be doing a really cool rainforest theme with a rock and grassy background, lots of vines and tree branches going all over. and a small pond in the front. So let's get these guys in their new homes. Give them a couple little pieces. We're just going to put 2 pieces in each of their containers. That is enough for a couple of days for these guys. And we will be getting a base turkey baster, which is what you use to clean out their enclosures. You want to clean them out every day or two. You want to go in there and just make sure you're spot cleaning their enclosure. Doing partial water changes to get the old food, any leftover food that's in there. You don't want the food to sit in there because it can grow bacteria. So that's also what the Indian almond leaf is, not only just for tinting the water with the tannins in the leaf, but it also contains a chemical that helps stop the spread and growth of bacteria in your enclosure. So that is another reason that you have the Indian almond leaves in there. So I will leave you guys with a look at these guys, and we will watch them as the next weeks progress, as they turn into little froglets. Alright, so I think that's going to do it for us today, guys. We are very excited to be able to watch our new tadpoles grow up. These guys are the Dendrobates Let's see if I can get this right. They are Dendrobates tinctorius azureus. These guys are the very well-known blue frogs, which are my favorite out of all of the dart frogs. I'm very excited to be able to grow these guys up and finally have some dart frogs here. And hopefully in the next couple of years, we'll have a big enough group of them that we can actually start breeding them and have our own tadpoles. These guys get sexually mature in as quick as 10 to 16 months. So within a year to a year and a half, these guys will be old enough to start reproducing babies of their own, which is going to be a lot of fun and very exciting. So if you like this video, please hit the like button down below, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we know the next time we upload a video. We are trying to stick to a schedule of once a week. We will be posting shortly once we finally get everything settled down. Still trying to work around working a job, taking care of the animals, and being able to film and edit all of this all by myself. So once we start getting things down a little bit more routine and I can start doing this more on a regular basis, we'll hopefully have every single week. I know we haven't been sticking to the once a week. We've been doing about once every week and a half to 2 weeks right now. But we're trying to hit the 1 a week mark for now. The more people that subscribe and like our videos, the more content and better content we'll be able to put out for you guys. Also, if you head on over to our Patreon page, which is just patreon.com/the Reptile Haven Wildlife Center. If you would like to, you can go over and support us on there. All of the money we get from that goes directly back into our animals and being able to help take care of our animals better and be able to put out better and more content for you guys. The more people we have supporting us, both on here and on Patreon, we'll be able to start putting out more and better videos for you guys every single week. Once we hit $200 a month on Patreon, we are also going to be start to doing a weekly Patreon exclusive episode for you guys. So if that's something you're interested in, head on over there, check us out. But by no means do you have to go over there and do that. You can catch us here on YouTube every single week. So hit that like button, subscribe, and we will see you guys next week. Thanks for stopping by.